Everyone, welcome to Digital Journalism COMM 216 Fall 2026. My name is Mike Reilley. I'm your instructor for the semester. Normally, we would be doing this session in person in SEO 1200, our classroom. This is a little different semester. I am starting the first 2 weeks of the semester out on the road. I do a lot of trainings and travel and stuff. So you do get some weeks where I pre-record stuff and you get to watch the videos. Exciting. But I've never done it where it's been the first week of the semester. I've done it where it's been the second week, but never the first. So this is going to be a little different class. You're going to watch a lot of videos in the first 2 weeks. And then in the third week, we'll meet live on Zoom during class time. And then Thursday of the third week, we'll actually get to see each other in person in SEO 1200. So I'll kind of walk you through all the paces in a few videos here to get you through week 1 and 2. This is our syllabus in Canvas. I always want to call it Canva, but it's Canvas. If you just click on syllabus, the syllabus is right here. My syllabus and my modules, my week-to-week course modules, are located here, and they're also available on Google Drive as well, because I back everything up on Google Drive. And you might ask, why does Mike back things up on Google Drive? I do that for a couple of reasons. One, I like to keep my course materials there, and two, it's a good reason to have you learning how to use Google Drive. We do use it for a few assignments. And the third reason, and actually there is a third, is we can avoid what happened last spring with Canvas, where they had the global hack, and university courses all over the country were hacked and held for ransomware or ransom. We don't want your grades or your course materials or anything else falling in the hands of the wrong people. So I do keep them up here. You can open up each weekly module. Please don't work ahead. Stay in the module that we're working in. You can download all these if you want to. You may open these up, and some of the assignments may have a hot link that goes off of the site. You can click on it. It may not work, but if you download it, it will work. Or if you go to Google Drive, you can always access it there. So those are the weekly modules. I do make them all public. These will actually be all green by the time you see them. And I do make them all available at the start of the semester. I don't introduce them one by one. But I do trust you guys, and I've never had a problem with this at UIC. Please don't work ahead. Just stay within the week we're working in. So those are the modules. Syllabus is right here. I do ask that you read the syllabus this week thoroughly. It's got all my contact information on it. It's also got our Zoom for days that we're working remotely but live during class time. After week 3, we kind of get into a swing of things where we're Tuesdays we're in SEO 1200, and Thursdays typically will be on Zoom. It may reverse some weeks, but you'll see on the schedule at the bottom of the syllabus, most of them are that way. My office hours, a lot of students just meet with me after class, or you can book a meeting with me over Zoom or in person. Meeting appointments, I can discuss grades, projects, jobs, internships, anything you want. I'll accept LinkedIn invites during the semester, but no Facebook invites until, after you graduate. My Gmail address, I do have, the university email, but I prefer my Gmail address. It's a little easier for me to answer quickly. Because I get the alerts on my phone, but I do check my UIC email regularly too. Do check your UIC email as well, once or twice a day. I don't email a lot for this class, but sometimes something may change, or there may be one student has a question and a bunch of you need an answer. I'll share it with everybody. So, do check it on a regular basis, but I'm not a big email prof, which I think you'll appreciate. You'll need to follow me on like a Blue Sky social account. We'll talk about Blue Sky a little later. The Redline Project as well. The Redline Project is a website where we publish to, redlineproject.news. Our student projects are posted here. And you can see, last spring's projects up here. It may look a little different by the time you guys see it, but you can go through and kind of see what some of the students have worked on in this class, the data class, and the AI class. hopefully, if you do a really good job on your weekly assignments throughout the semester, and especially your final project, at the end of the semester, it'll wind up published here. We had several of them published this past spring. The course description, basically, this is kind of an overview course. You get a little taste of everything in the digital world: web production, reporting with your phone, how to record and shoot video and images on your phone, how to gather audio on your phone and interview people, how to edit that audio into a soundbite, put it up on the web. So we cover all of that in the course basics, in the course description. We have some rules here for student behavior. Then we get into learning objectives and things like that. As far as required resources, textbooks prices are pretty low. One required textbook is the Journalist Toolbox, A Guide to Digital Reporting and AI, which is this red book right here. I published this in 2023. It's built for this class. You don't have to do any of the exercises in it, but the readings are extremely important that set up the upcoming week's work. You can get it on Amazon, Routledge.com, or on Kindle. Kindle's a little cheaper. Amazon, you can buy a used one pretty cheap. Routledge.com's full price, which is like $40. But you can pick it up cheaper than that. Also, the Associated Press Style Book, 57th edition, 2024 through 2026. It's available in paperback or spiral bound. You can also get it online on the AP app. The textbook's really good because it makes it easier to look things up. The phone app's okay. The online version's pretty good too. And it's around $30. So, all in, you're under $65 for the semester. This is probably the heaviest class I have as far as textbooks. We do have a free textbook called the Verification Handbook that you'll do some reading out of. And it's free online, both as a PDF and as online chapters. You can just click on them. The Verification Handbook looks like this. Down here, it's just read the book. You can buy the book too if you want a bound version of it. But the online version of the handbook is fantastic. And we'll just have to go through and read these short chapters. It even tells you how long it takes you to read them. They're all pretty short, no more than 10 to 15 minutes maximum. So, pretty good textbook. I have some resources as well: Ricoh Theta 360 camera, Blue Snowball microphone, headphones, iRig microphone, and I'll bring those devices in throughout the semester. Tripods as well if you need to steady your camera, or a gimbal if you're trying to steady your camera phone or your phone's camera. I've got handheld gimbals too. I have a simple policy with it. Nobody's ever messed that up in my 25 years of teaching. If you break it, you buy it. I've never had anybody break anything and bring it back into me. So don't be the first. There's a lot of other things. GoPro Hero 5 cameras are available for checkout at the College of Communications, Suite 1100. It's your responsibility, of course, to check them out and return them. The grading scale is pretty standard. This is standard language for all your syllabi. The scale is the university scale, and A is 90 to 100%. I do letter grades. I do average the letter grades together, which benefits you. The breakdown of the course is pretty simple. 35% of the class is weekly assignments. So don't take zeros on those because they do add up pretty quickly. They're each worth about 5% of the overall grade. A third of your grade is a little more than a third. Is your group multimedia final project. There's typically two of you that team up and produce a multimedia story that appears on redlineproject.news. 20% is a midterm exam. It's in week 8. It's take-home exams, not too tough. We do a thorough review for it. And then 10% of your grade is your attendance, tardiness, attitude, improvement, all that stuff. This should be an easy A for you if you're showing up to class regularly. And also I have up on, it says in week 3 here, but I actually give it to you at the beginning of the semester. There's a document that's called a grade tracker that you can just fill in throughout the semester as you go. And it's up on our modules too at the very bottom. It's the very last module. So you can download this little Word doc. Sometimes I give them the spreadsheets too, but this one's a Word doc for this class. And you just fill in the grades as you go, so you always know how you're doing in class. It's got this rubric breakdown here, so you can track your grade throughout the semester. It's pretty cool. I don't use the grade book in here for one reason: the hacking and the privacy, and it's just a little easier for me to get the grades to you quickly. I do pride myself on that. I get them in very quickly to you after you've turned them in once we hit the deadline. Sometimes within minutes after you've turned it in, as long as it's not overnight. Um, if you happen to be emailing me homework, most of the stuff we do in here we post to the web. But there are a few things that you'll email me, like final project, story idea, pitches, things like that. Always make sure in the email you put a subject line explaining the assignment, and then provide an editable link, typically a Google Doc or a Word doc attachment. Don't send PDFs or Microsoft OneDrive or a Google Doc that hasn't been shared with me or made editable. Make sure you're sending me a Google Doc, and I'll show that in later classes how to set one up and share it and things like that. So, bottom line here is unexcused absences is lower your grade. If you do have to miss class because of an illness or an emergency, you let me know in advance. It's excused. I don't even put it in the grade book. But if you're just skipping class, and I get a few every semester that go walkabout on me. Don't do that because you'll fall behind the class. Because we do have assignments, throughout the entire semester, including the weeks right after the midterm. That's usually when people vanish. If you have special needs, do reach out to me. If there's a disability or you have an LOA letter, send it to me by Friday of the first week. I am on email, as I'm traveling. And I can make any arrangements for you for the midterm or anything like that. It's no problem. Religious holidays too. If you have a religious holiday that falls during fall semester, please do let me know what dates those are, and we'll work with you on it. Follow the honor code, the university's student honor code policy regarding academic integrity. I've got a summary of it here. But you can't submit stories or assignments from other classes. You'll receive an F. And also with generative AI, my policy is a little looser than some of your professors are, where they try to ban it in your classes, which they're not really banning AI, because every time you do a Google search, you're using AI. So I do a lot of AI trainings for the Google News Initiative program, and do a lot of trainings in newsrooms. So I use the software quite a bit. And I do, scan your stories and know what to look for. I actually show you in week 3 how I catch people using AI. So do your own, writing in class. You can use note takers in Zoom, but you do have to be present and on camera in class. I know some of you, that may have a learning disability. Those note takers are just, a gold mine for you. And even if you don't, a lot of students still use them to summarize the lectures and, just class discussion, things like that. So feel free to use them, but you do have to be on camera on Zoom when we're meeting. You can run them when we're in class in person too. I have no problem with it. But as far as putting together your project, we'll work with ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, a bunch of other AI tools. I'll show you some stuff that can really save you a lot of time, but we don't write with it. Same with plagiarism. I run my stories through your assignments through copy leaks, and they detect any unattributed information. We'll work a lot on attribution in the first 4 or 5 weeks of the class. Same with copyright law. Take your own photos. Don't steal photos off the web from like AP or Getty Images or anything like that. So security and safety, we are on the 12th floor of SEO 1200 Science and Engineering offices. We're just the big tall building just south of the Daily Library. Please do be safe and follow the safety guidelines in the UIC app. I mean, we're a 9:30 class, so people are around on campus during that time. But if you're coming to campus early like I do, please be safe and make sure you're getting to and from campus in a safe manner. Editing changes by instructor. A lot of times I go through and I give you a critique of your story or your multimedia project. Make sure you go in and enter those changes, things like misspellings and mistakes like that. Failure to do so, because it is published work, will result in an F grade. I never really have to enforce this because people do it anyway. They want to make their assignment, spotless. So if I give you some feedback, just go ahead and enter it in. I don't raise grades because of that. Because you're expected to get it right. So the multiple submissions, I actually put it in here twice. All the work for this class needs to be specifically done for this class. You can't just recycle work for other classes. I'll give you an F on it. Occasionally I've had students come to me and say, can I use part of the project from this other class? in here, but you have to get my permission first. The schedule's down here. It goes through week by week. This is last spring's class, so that's why you have January 13th here. And yours will say, pre-recorded, and have a list of all the videos here. But the weekly schedule, has the homework, if it's just reading or video, that you just have listed here. So, make sure you're checking that syllabus on a regular basis. I don't quiz people on it, but I do expect you to know it. And our Google Drive has the syllabus on it as well. This is what it'll look like. This is the fall syllabus. It's got our Zoom meeting and password on it. So this is the one you'll be working off of. So it's got all the information up at the top on it. Contact me. Again, we meet in SEO 1200, 11 a.m. To 12:15 p.m. I mentioned 9:30 earlier. I was thinking of another course, my sports course. But you guys, we meet 11 to 12:15 p.m. Hybrid course, so we do meet online and in person both. And it's always designated on the syllabus schedule. And also, I should mention, in each of our modules, we have schedules in there as well that kind of have a little more detail of what we have in our weekly syllabus schedule. So, this is the week 1 digital journalism schedule, and, it'll have Tuesday at the top. I think this one will probably have Thursday because it's an old one. But just so you can see, there it is Tuesday, and it goes through, all the things that we'll do in class that day. And again, this is an old schedule. It's just showing you where it will be at in your class. So you can open that up. You can download this. Again, the links probably won't work in these edit modes or in these module modes. You can always download the document or just use the Google Drive. Either one's fine, whatever works for you. So that's it for some of the basics of the class. I do want to talk about a couple of other little things for this first week. We will, in week 3, Thursday of week 3, we'll meet in SEO 1200, 12th floor. Make sure you come early that day, just, so you can find it. Some of you have had classes in there before, others haven't. We use it quite a bit for COMM. Janice Page, Zach McDowell also have classes in there. I always get a question about the restrooms. They're on floors 1, 2, 3, 5, and 11, but not 12. But you can go down the steps right outside our classroom. It'll take you right down to the 11th floor. So we've toured Canvas, and the Google Drive is set up just like it. One thing too, and this is in the syllabus, I don't do any extra credit or makeup work unless the absence is cleared with me prior to class. I don't grant extensions unless there's a valid reason and it's 24 hours in advance. So you can't, skip an assignment and then come back to me a week later and say, oh yeah, can I make that up for partial credit? So, you get a 0 if you miss the deadline and you haven't, given me an excuse, or I've granted an extension in advance. I'm reasonable, if something's, gone wrong, you're sick, or a family member or something is sick, I'll work with you, but you have to come to me well before the deadline, 24 hours beforehand. So make sure you reach out to me. The rest of our schedule is just, first class schedule is the textbooks, the verification handbook. I showed you the red line project. Make sure you follow me on Blue Sky. You're going to set up a medium.com account in the next video. We're going to talk about that, and also an account on Blue Sky. Blue Sky is kind of very similar to Twitter. One of the former Twitter founders helped build it. You're going to need to follow me on there, and I have a link to the syllabus off to my account. You'll put your image up here at the top of your photo, put your name in here. You can do all that by clicking on Edit Profile, and then a little description of who you are. You'll follow me. You can also follow some of these people that I've set up in this little thing called a starter pack. You can open it up, and it lists a bunch of really smart people in journalism that you can click follow on. And we'll also have you guys following each other because there's a little file that you'll be able to post your Blue Sky and Medium account to. And it will be on our Google Drive because we can't type on the documents in our modules in Canvas, unfortunately. So, digital journalism, this is our Google Drive. We include courses, syllabus is down here instead of on the rail. And down here we have digital, medium, and Blue Sky accounts. And you just open that up and you'll put in your name, your Medium account link when you set it up at medium.com, and your Blue Sky social link. If you have Blue Sky, might try and see if you can just do your name, Mike Smith or whatever your name is, and try to put them in alphabetical order by your last name. So you'll bump me down if your last name comes before R in the alphabet. So by Friday of class, this week 1 Friday at noon, you've got to have your name, your Medium account set up, and your Blue Sky account. And in a later video, we're going to show you how to post a little practice story to Medium and share it over Blue Sky. So you get a little training in week 1 on how to do some basic web production. It's a skill that is good to have and very marketable. One last thing I want to show you before I let you go in this first video is this website. It's journalisttoolbox.ai, journalist plural, toolbox.ai. I created this website 30 years ago, modified it in 2023 to reflect more AI work. We're going to use some of the resources in here. I use it for my data class and some of my others. So if you're looking for, maybe some editing tools, we'll actually work with some of these a little later in the semester. And you can open it up and it lists the name of the tool and then a little short description under it. Most of the tools in here are free, or at least have a freemium account. I do have more than 150 training videos in here that you can play and 5-10 minutes. We use a few of them for homework in this class. They're also injected into my textbook as well. But it's a good resource for you, and it can be helpful for your other classes as well, because it explores things like journalism ethics in AI, how to write prompts, fact-checking tools, which we'll use quite a bit in our class, digital security and safety resources, all kinds of different tools in here. So take advantage of that. I also have a weekly newsletter that's on the syllabus. You're required to subscribe to it for free. It's linked right off the toolbox here. It's also linked off your syllabus. So that first week, make sure you buy your books, read the syllabus closely, and subscribe to all the things that I asked you to subscribe to. The subscriptions are all free. This newsletter comes out every other Tuesday morning around 8 a.m. Central Time, and it has some typically a list of tools or a task that you have to perform as journalists, and gives you some prompts and some tools to go about building something like a interactive chart like this, or a static chart. And it usually has a training video built into it as well, and some other tools at the bottom. It's a quick read. You can get through it in about 5-6 minutes. So make sure you subscribe to that newsletter. It's linked off your syllabus. You'll see it when you're reading through it. So that's it for now. We'll get started on some other things in our second video for class. And I'll also show you another video that will help you set up your Medium and Blue Sky accounts.